That's good.
Okay. Right, issue fixed. All good. Oh, actually, I need to mute you all, don't I?
Oh, I love you.
Yeah.
I love you.
No, in a minute. Go to the beach in a minute.
Okay, let's do it. All right, finally we're here this morning. It's good to see you all. We're going to start off with breathing. So we'll do Nadi Shodhana, which is the alternate nostril breathing. So if everyone knows how to do this, just go through it at your own pace. I'm going to go through it for the video. So just peace fingers in between the eyebrows. Breath in, breath out, block right. Inhale through left. Block left, exhale right. Inhale right. Block right, exhale left. Inhale left. Block left, exhale right. And just continue with that breath. And trying to just relax and clear the frontal lobe. And each inhale just become deeper and deeper, and exhale slower and slower. So just work on that system of deep through the inhale, filling up the lungs, exhale nice and slow. So your focus is just on that breath, getting deeper. Beautiful. So this is starting to get the blood to flow around the brain as well. It's getting us to relax, be calm and steady. And when you're ready, just blowing out, releasing all the air through the right. And just bring the hands onto the knees and just work on deep breathing. So inhale through both nostrils deep. Exhale. Do that 3 or 4 times. And then switch to Ujjayi breath. So just working on that noise in the back of the throat. So if we switch to that now. So the restriction of the throat. So it's like a snoring sound. And this is the breath that we want to try and connect to for the next hour. And then just relax. We're going to flip over onto our stomach, so in prone position. We're going to do a bit of shoulder stretching today. Got a couple of good shoulder stretches that some of you may have done before. The first one will work on rolling. So you can see me here, we'll work on rolling. So bring your right arm out, hand in line with the shoulder. And then just roll onto that shoulder. Bend the left foot up and place the foot on the floor. And you can have your head down. You can even have a cushion or something here, head down. Or you can bring your left hand up and over for the twist, head down. And just relax in this pose. Ujjayi breath, trying to connect to that now. And the more you focus on connecting to Ujjayi, it becomes natural through your practice. We want Ujjayi breath so that we can start calming the body down. We want it as calm as possible, so we're connecting to the vagus nerve with the Ujjayi breath. The vagus nerve is full of parasympathetic nerves, so our calming nervous system. So obviously, you know what this is doing. We're just opening up through the chest here, but stretching through the four muscles in the shoulder, the four major muscles. Opening up through the chest with this one, getting deep into the ligaments and connective tissue right now. Just the last couple of breaths here. Then when we're ready, we're going to roll back to center. Stretch the arms out in front of you. So stretching out as much as you can. Then we're going to walk, so lift the left fingers up and walk the right arm underneath the left arm. Bringing the hand as close, as close to your mat or close down the mat as possible. And bring the left hand over the top, left arm crossing at the biceps, at the elbows, drop the chin down. So stretching that shoulder in the opposite direction now. So we're going to do a lot of work today on the upper part of the spine. Just connecting to the Ujjayi breath. Just the last 30 seconds now. So focusing on deepening that inhale. Should be doing this naturally now for each pose. It's just working deeper for that inhale as the pose gets longer. And when you're ready, coming out of the pose. Stretch the arms out in front, a really good stretch. Then bring the left hand in line with the left shoulder, and we roll onto this side. Getting yourself as comfortable as you can. You can either lift the right arm up and come over and twist, getting a deeper stretch, or it might be enough just with your hand down in front of you. Just test yourself, just roll to that spot where you're getting a nice stretch. You don't want to feel anything more than a nice stretch. Just feel where you're just working into that muscle. So these four muscles get used quite a lot, and as we get older, they become overused, and we start having like micro tears, etc. In the four muscles, the sits muscles they're called, sits, S-I-T-S. And once you start getting issues there, the mobility in the shoulders becomes weaker. We end up with a bit of pain in that area. Some of you might be feeling a little bit like that now. Just breathe through it. You don't want pain, just back off if you're feeling any pain at all. Just remember Ujjayi breath. So the last 30 seconds now, just focusing on that breath. And when you're ready, just releasing, so coming back onto the stomach. Bring both hands in front again, so reaching out as far as you can, have a little bit of a stretch there to open up those shoulder blades. Then bring the left hand under the right, left arm under the right arm over the top. Drop the chin down when you're in the right position for yourself. And then just breathe. So you're halfway through here. You should be starting to feel a lot looser through the shoulders. You might even be able to get in a little bit deeper with this one. So just working the hands further towards the hips, so bringing them around and down. So opening up through the shoulders like we have just then is going to take away a lot of tension around the neck, the upper spine, where we hold a bit of tension. Generally hold our stress in that area. And that's the stress that's on our desktop, I suppose they call it, whereas it's the current stresses that we're thinking about. It's generally held around this area. So if we can just move that energy. So release now, coming back, releasing the arms, coming straight out with the hands. And then we're just going to bring the hands behind the body, interlace all 10 fingers if you can, and just bring the shoulder blades together. So you don't have, you can come up high if you want a little bit of a back bend as well, but we're doing that shortly. So just bring the shoulders blades as close as you can together. Keep stretching and opening through the chest. And then release and rest. So we come into crocodile pose, so stack the hands, forehead on top of the back of the hands, toes facing out, heels in. So legs apart and just rest. Resting the shoulders now, resting the upper part of the spine. I'm going to work through a few back bends now to wake that spine up. We'll go from lower all the way up the spine. Just breathe. So always just remember that the breath is just as important. It's actually more important than the actual pose that we're doing, the asana. So the breath is way more important. So when you're ready, just come back, bringing your hands to the side of the body. Actually, we'll go into Sphinx first. So bring the elbows underneath the shoulders, forearms on the floor, spread the fingers apart. And we'll just come into Sphinx for a short time. So shoulder blades together. This is the important part. You don't just sit here like this. Shoulder blades together, they should be nice and open. Now bring the chest up and sternum up. So it's almost like you're pushing that chest forward and up. And just connecting with the breath here. The Ujjayi breath should be getting a little bit deeper in the back bends. We're just trying to squeezing the adrenals here. So the breath is going to keep us calm. And then we're going to squeeze the glutes and straighten the arms. So coming into seal. Forward and bring the shoulder blades together. So push the shoulders behind you and then the sternum up. You're going to feel that stretch in the back, but make sure that the glutes are tensed up. And then relax. So bring the body down and just come into the crocodile again, just for 4 or 5 breaths. Then when you're ready, we're going to come into Purna Salabhasana, which is bringing the hands down the sides of the body, palms onto the floor. Just bring the head on the floor to get ready, feet together. And then just lift the hands up, lift the chest up, lift the chin up. Keep the feet on the floor at the moment. Bring the shoulder blades together, chin away from the chest. Now lift the legs up. So we want the thighs off the floor. We want the belly button up off the floor. Keep lifting the thighs, lifting the chin, Shoulder blades together, looking up as high as you can go. Just keep looking up. Holding there. If you've got to come back down, but get back into it. Lift up, come up, bring the chin up, chest up, arms up. Bring the shoulder blades together. As you lift the feet up, lift the thighs up, lift the belly button off the floor, come up, and exhale, come all the way. And just relax, bring the left cheek on the mat, arms down by the sides. So now we're going to come into Dhanurasana or bow pose. So looking forward, bend the knees up, grab around the feet if you can. If you can't reach the feet, just work towards reaching the feet or have a strap and place that around there. And when you're ready, we bring the shoulder blades together, chest up, chin up. Then we lift the thighs off the floor and kick the feet into the hands. So we're getting a deeper back bend now. So lift the chest up, kick the feet into the hands. Perfect. Keep kicking, keep kicking, keep kicking. And if you want, you can come into side bow, which will give you a little bit of a core workout. So just rolling to the side, stretching there, coming back, roll to the side, keep kicking, chest up, chin up, legs up, kick, toes up as high as you can go, shoulder blades together, and then relax. Crocodile pose. So it's got the heart rate up. If the adrenals are good, squeeze there. So massaging the adrenal glands is so important because a lot of us just pump adrenaline all day long. And it's not what we're meant to do. So by massaging them, we relax them, keep them nice and supple and working correctly. That's why you can feel the breath really working overtime. So we're resting that now. So what we do there is they were pretty heightened poses when we squeeze adrenals. So now we come into nice, easy pose. So we'll come into child's pose. So help yourself up. I'm gonna relax in some forward bends now for the next few poses. So child's pose, wide-legged, bring the toes together, hips back. Make sure you bring the hips back as far as they can go to the heels. Then come forward. Once you've got your hips where they need to go, then come forward. Always remember you can have a cushion in front of you, pillow, whatever makes it comfortable, a block, anything that you like. You want to be as comfortable as possible. You don't want to be straining or causing tension in any part of your body. And if you feel tension in any part of your body when you're in a pose like this, should come out, go back in again. So now we're just bringing the spine into the opposite way to where we stretched it. So this is forward bend and we're lengthening through the lower back. When we're in Sphinx pose, we're backward bending and we're compressing the lower back. So now we're lengthening. We're just working on that Ujjayi breath. We generally lose it through the back bend series there. We lose the Ujjayi breath because we're moving into fight or flight. So now we're getting back into the parasympathetic nervous system where we need to be. The back bends are really important for mobility of the spine, strengthening of the spine, for the purpose of the blood flow through the spine. Really important to do back bends. Now we can just relax, knowing that the adrenals are set for the day. And we can stretch open through the spine to give us a little bit more space. We've got a minute to go, so just focus on the Ujjayi breath. Last few breaths. And when you're ready, slowly come out of the pose, but nice and slow. Really take your time and flip yourself over into Shavasana, so first Shavasana. And nice and slow, never rush out of poses. So just laying in Shavasana for the next 40 seconds or so. Should feel really nice on your back right now in Shavasana. When you're ready, bring the knees into the chest and have a really nice squeeze. Just spend the next 30 seconds or so in this position. Because the pose we've got after this is a challenging pose. It's a forward bend. We're stretching through the hamstring. We're in it for quite a bit of time. So just enjoy this nice squeeze and rolling into a ball. So we're going to lengthen deep through the entire body in this next pose. And when you're ready, rolling up to a seated position. And then just stretching the legs out, just give them a bit of a stretch out. What we're going to do, the guys who were on yesterday did this pose, but we're going to do a little bit different today. It's Janu Shavasana, so head to knee pose. So yesterday we were more focused on coming straight. So today we're going to focus on the twist of the spine as well as coming forward. Okay, so we don't want the legs straight, the left, just bring the left leg out and the right foot up against the left thigh. We don't want the left leg straight out, so bring it out to the left and push that foot into the thigh again. Have your strap, if you need a strap. And then this is the important part, okay? So what we tend to do is we want to just lean and move into it. But what we need to do is bring the hands on the floor, lengthen through the spine and twist. Okay, so we want to twist there, lengthen again, and then come forward. Okay, so we're working that thigh, that stomach to the thigh. So what I generally do is that, and then I put my right hand on the outside of the knee, bring myself around a little bit more, lengthen through the spine, and then come forward. Okay, so then we're in the twist. Want to twist to this hip and the lower spine as well as the forward bend. You need to use the strap around and do exactly the same. Just leave the strap there, come up on the hands, twist, lengthen, and come forward and grab the strap as low as possible, as low towards the foot as possible, and slowly start coming down. Okay, so get yourself as comfortable as possible. This is a really deep stretch, a really important stretch to stretch through the entire body. So we're stretching through the spine, through the hamstring, lengthening through the lower part of the back, twisting the spine as well as the hips. Okay, so there's a lot going on in this pose. And if you find your knees uncomfortable, you can place something under there, like a block or a cushion. I tend to like that just so I can start pushing down on it when we get deeper into the pose. Beautiful. And just get to that spot where you need to go. Just remember, it's not all about touching the toes with your hands, okay? Use that strap as an extension of your hands, because the strap is important to get you to that spot. And eventually, when you can wrap your hand around, that's when you're more comfortable, because with this type of pose, you need to pull and stretch. We're not just leaning, we're pulling and stretching. And eventually, you'll get that much space, you'll want more reaching, so you just place a block at the bottom of your foot like I am. Wrap around the block and then stretch further. But always work your elbows down towards the floor. And once you get close to the floor, bring them in towards the shins. So we're working to have that nice straight line with all the joints. You've got 3 minutes to go. This is a 5-minute pose. I'll give you the challenge today. I know you're all up for it. You'll feel absolutely awesome after this pose. Getting that twist of the spine, the lengthening of the spine, the lengthening of the hamstring. The twisting of the hips. It's all happening in this one pose. Challenge yourself just to stick to the breath, that Ujjayi breath. And just always remember where you are is absolutely perfect. Okay, so wherever you are in this pose today, it's just perfection. So you're working through the barriers, you're working through the tightness, you're working through the mental distractions. So just under 2 minutes to go. Keep breathing into this pose. Keep working deeper into the pose. And working deeper, the only way you'll get deeper is through working on the breath. Okay, so physically you're in a spot where you need to be. Now we work on the mental side. And to work on the mental side is to work with the breath. Not that breath that we use constantly to get through our day. That deep breath that fills up the lungs completely. Slow breath that fills up the lungs and releases slow out of the lungs. A minute to go. You're all doing amazing. So just in this last 45 seconds, either just be comfortable where you are or just move to that next step. So pull a bit deeper, drop the head a bit further, take a deeper inhale. All those things that get you deeper past that barrier, just test it right now. If you don't feel like that because you're happy where you are, just hang where you are. 20 seconds left. And when you're ready, slowly, slowly come up. Nice and slow. That's a deep, deep pose. So let's move into the other side. Releasing that leg and allowing the blood to flow through the right leg now. Because you just remember we're blocking off blood flow in the ankle and the knee on the right side. And then get yourself set up. Just bring that leg out to where you feel that the twist is going to be fine for you. And again, if you're using the strap, have the strap set up. But just bring your fingers onto the floor, lengthen through the spine. So that's shoulder blades together, sternum up. Then twist. And then what I do is bring my left hand on the outside of the neck, lengthen and twist, and then come down. If you've got the strap, make sure you come down as low as possible with the strap, as low as you can come. So as close to the foot as possible. And then just work your way into a position where you can start focusing on the breath. So you should feel that twist of the hips. It's a really nice stretch of the hips, this twist. The spine is lengthening. So just focus. One of the big things about yoga therapy is the visualization or the focus of the visual. So you always need to know your end point. You need to know where you want to go with this pose, and then start visualizing you heading in that direction as well as lengthening through that spine. Always visualize the spine with space, length, mobility. It becomes pretty natural to us. I know when I had 3 bulging discs in my neck, I used to focus on the 3 bulging discs. And so when you do that, you delete so much out of your life because of 3 bulging discs. So when I started focusing on the healing of the discs, on the discs becoming more mobile, becoming lengthened through that area, it just changed everything. So then I didn't focus on the 3 bulging discs, I focused on the rest of my spine, helping the bulging discs heal. So 3 minutes, 2 minutes 45 to go. So you're almost halfway through. So at this point, you should be getting deep into the connective tissue, particularly in those hips and lower spine. Your hamstring should be opening up, getting some really good blood flow through. So working those elbows down towards the shins, down towards the floor. So 2 minutes left. If anyone, I can't really see, if anyone is grabbing their feet without the strap and you're wrapping your hands around the feet, just challenge yourself to switch sides. So the right hand comes on the inside of the foot, the left hand goes on the outside of the foot. Cross at the wrists and pull down, you get down a lot deeper. It's a really nice way to finish off that pose. Last minute. So last 40 seconds, so challenge yourself here if you need to challenge, if you want to push past that point. Just go for that deeper breath. Last few breaths now. And when you're ready, slowly come out of the pose. Coming into Shavasana as quick and as elegantly as you can. Nice minutes break here. Beautiful. I hope you all feel that pose, the benefits of that pose right now. When you're in Shavasana, you start feeling that blood flow. You start feeling tingling sensations in areas that were tight. And that's the healing of those areas. That's the energy just being pushed through. And while you're laying in Shavasana, just even focusing on that breath, but imagining the length in the spine. The spine is so important to us. And when you're ready, just bring the knees into the chest. Again, just spend probably 20 seconds here. Just hugging those knees in after that lengthening of the body, lengthening of the hamstrings, lengthening of the spine, opening up through the spine, through the hips, and then rolling up to a seated position. Actually flip yourself over. We're going to come into Vajrasana, which is Japanese seated pose. So we're sitting on our heels. I just want to go through a couple of different ways you can be comfortable here. So we're going to be here for about 5 minutes. So if you've got a bolster or a nice cushion, you can actually sit on that and it just relaxes the hips. And you're still going to get the blockage of the ankles and the knees. That's what we're after. But that's a comfortable way. Or you might want to place it behind you like this. And that's really nice and comfortable as well. So if you can handle that on your shins and your feet, this is a really nice position to be in as well. So do that, or just be in Japanese seated pose like I'm going to be, just like this. You need your strap. Well, most of you will need the strap. I'm going to come into lengthening this top of the spine as well as working on the shoulders. So we're going to bring the right arm up to the back, left arm out, drop the thumb down and come underneath, grabbing the hands. If not, your strap in that top hand and pulling on the strap. If you've got your hands, just pull, and we want to lengthen through the spine. Okay, so shoulder blades further together. Bring that right elbow above the head if you can. Sternum up. Lift up through the hips. So don't just sit in the hips. You want to push that pelvis forward, belly button forward, lift, chest up, holding there. So this pose is Vajrasana, which works. Vajrasana is our position that we're seated in, so the Japanese seated pose. So we're working here on the knees, shins, ankles, hips. And then we've got Gomukhasana, arms. So that's cow face arms. So working on the shoulders, opening up through the chest, lengthening through the upper spine. So this is really important to lengthen through the neck. So this sort of pose is what helped me when I was getting through bulging discs in the neck. So this is the style of pose that you need, opening up through the chest, lengthening through the spine instead of dumping into the spine. You continually lengthen through the top part of the spine, keep lengthening through. Sticking to the Ujjayi breath. You've got just over a minute to go on this side. So with these sorts of poses, sometimes we can come forward, but it's not what we want to do today. We want to just lengthen through the spine. That's been our whole process today, is lengthening, particularly the upper spine. This is going to be a really nice replay for you guys to watch anytime. The poses in it are very, very upper spine orientated. And I do a lot of lower spine work. You need to get this upper spine right as well. So if you've got any upper spine problems, upper spine issues, this class is really good for that. So the last 15 seconds, just focus on having the deepest inhales that you can. Get that sternum up as high as you can. So you're pushing those arms in the back to get that sternum up. And then release. Keep the legs where they are. We switch to the other side with the arms. So bring the left arm up. Feeling that in the shoulders, left arm up. Palm on the lower back. Come across, drop the right finger, the right thumb down, reach under. Grabbing the hands if you can. If not, use the strap in the top hand. Sometimes you might get one side with the strap and one side without, or sometimes you might be miles away. Your hands are miles apart, and that's okay, it's all right. We work towards this. When I first started yoga, I couldn't grab my hands nowhere near it, so I didn't think it'd ever happen. So remember, sternum up, so we don't want to dump in the spine. Dumping in the spine means our hips are going to be right back, but lift up through the spine, so the sternum is coming up, shoulder blades together. And chin should come down towards the chest with this one. I didn't mention that on the other side. The chin should be more towards the chest because the chest is coming up to meet the chin, and the chin is going down to meet the chest. And that lengthens through the cervical spine. So keep breathing, you've got a minute. So keep breathing and continually working to open the chest. So sternum up, sternum up, sternum up. Every time you place that sternum further up, the shoulder blades come closer together. You're stretching through those shoulders deep now. You're also lengthening through the upper spine, the cervical spine. Giving yourself plenty of space. Last few breaths. And then start releasing those arms. Give yourself a bit of a hug after this. So just wrap your arms around the shoulders and just squeeze. And then we're just going to come into Shavasana. Stretch out those legs. And you should feel that rush of blood now going through the knees, down through the shins, into the ankles. So we've only got a few poses to go. There's not, I'm not going to be in them for a long time, those last few poses we were, but these next two, it's just to open up through the hips, and I'm going to finish with legs up. So when you're ready, just bring the knees into the chest, roll yourself up, come up onto the soles of the feet. We're going to come into garland. So toes out, heels in. Again, you can use something to sit on if you like. That'll protect you there, give you a little bit more comfort. If you don't need that, just bring the hips down in between the heels, elbows on the insides of the knees, palms together, thumbs to the middle of the chest, shoulder blades together. That's going to push the knees open, chest up, sternum up. So those thumbs are there to remind you to keep the sternum up. So opening through the hips here, getting those adductor muscles, giving them a bit of a kick in the butt to wake up. Mine need it right now. And just breathe through this. So with this pose, the other option is happy baby. You can go into that as well if you feel you ever need just to lay on your back to do this. Every now and again, challenge yourself with this one. This is one of the more difficult ones. This and then frog pose after this. So it's happy baby, garland, frog pose. We'll do the same thing. So you can always take your choice between those. You've got 12 minutes to go. 40 seconds, really. I need one of those crowd laughter things, you know, where the crowd laugh. I'll just press the button and they laugh. When you're ready, slowly come out. We're just going to bring the hands behind us, legs out. Shake the legs. And then just come into windshield wipers when you're ready. So just probably feel a few clicks in the hip. Then we're going to move into the final pose before Shavasana. We'll just be in this for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I'm going to give you the option to go to wherever you want with this one. And I'll show you the options. You know, go up against the wall, or you can just come with the hands there, or the block under here. So there are your options there. If you want a bit more, if you want to. If you feel like just legs up and just relaxing for a couple of minutes, do that. If you want a bit more, shoulder stand is always a good one. So that one. Yeah. It's good. Shoulder stand is a good one to finish with if you want that a little bit more, but just listen to your body. Legs up is a really nice way to finish as well. Shoulder stand. From all the poses that we've done, shoulder stand is lengthening through that spine a little bit more. If you're in shoulder stand, you want to come into plow, just drop the feet behind. And just remember that wherever you are, it's chin towards chest here. So whether it's just the simple legs up, chin towards chest. If you've got the block under your hips, chin towards chest. Shoulder stand, you haven't got much option. Your chin does go to the chest. And that means we're lengthening that spine completely out. 25 seconds to go. Once you come out of this pose, just go straight into Shavasana. So coming out of the pose, nice and slow, bringing your hips to the floor. Get as comfortable as possible for Shavasana. And just move back to the natural breath. Mary's dog has just settled in Shavasana as well. So just connecting to the natural breath, just allowing the breath to be natural, relaxed. And once you feel it's the natural breath, then start feeling the air coming in and out of the nostrils. Now that you're feeling the air coming in and out of the nostrils, is the air cool? Is it warm? Just make the air cool. Just cooling air through the nose. Feel the coolness of the air coming in through the nose and out through the nose. Now just bring your focus to the right shoulder blade and feel it just laying on the floor. And just feel the point of the shoulder blade that's touching the floor. A real subtle point, but feel that point. Now move to the left shoulder blade. Feel the point that touches the floor, the subtle point that's touching the floor. And both shoulder blades together. Just feel where your upper body is touching the floor. Now go to the back of the head and feel the point that is touching the floor in the back of the head. Feel that point, feel the subtle point. So now the back of the head and the shoulder blades. Feel those 3 points that are touching the floor, but holding your upper body on the floor. Between the shoulder blades, all the way up to the back of the head. It's a part of the spine called the cervical spine. Just visualize the cervical spine. Feel the relaxation in that cervical spine right now. And take a nice deep inhale from the shoulder blades to the bottom of that cervical spine, all the way up to the back of the head. Fill up that spine. Fill it up with air. And then release the air to empty the cervical spine. So fill it up with the inhale. Release the air with the exhale, emptying that area. And just start noticing the space that you feel in the cervical spine. Now I want you to bring your focus to Chitta, which is that place between the eyebrows. So keeping your eyelids closed, roll your eyeballs up towards the middle of the eyebrows. But not straining the eyes, just rolling them up. Again, I want you to check that place, the Chitta. Check it for, is it dark? Their colours, their shapes. Now relax the eyes and go back to the cervical spine, filling it up with an inhale, emptying it with an exhale. Filling it up with an inhale, empty with an exhale. Now go back to Chitta, rolling the eyeballs up to the middle of the eyebrows. See the space, see how the space changed? Does it become darker? Does the hole deeper? This is your place. This is your place of serenity, bliss. Only you can enter. Now just check the colours. Is there a prominent colour there? Is there a prominent shape? Or is there just darkness? There's sparkles? Is there movement? It's the manifestation of your consciousness right there. When you're ready, relax the eyeballs. Take a nice deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. And then while you're there, just send off a gratitude to someone in your life that you're grateful for. And then give yourself a lot of praise for getting here on a Saturday morning and dedicating this time to yourself on the mat. Done an amazing job getting through those poses physically and mentally for the day. And start wiggling the toes and the fingers. Rolling to the right hand side, taking a breath there. Working your way up to Sukhasana, comfortable seated pose. Bring your hands into prayer position, shoulder blades together, sternum up, take a nice deep inhale. Release all the air. And thank you guys for being with me Saturday morning and allowing me to take you through your yoga poses, your class. I hope you all feel amazing and have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ray.